All right, folks, let's talk about gun control. Let's talk about what it really is people control. And we're going to be doing this conversation on the wonderful Yamaha R1. Now, if you're a Christian, you probably believe, like I do, that this motorcycle is the product of intelligent design, just like the universe is. If you're an atheist, you probably believe the motorcycle is not a product of intelligent design. You know how you guys hate intelligent design. You probably believe it just popped into existence, uncaused, out of nothing, just like you atheists believe the universe was caused by nothing. We got people like Lawrence Krauss that are saying that the universe was created by nothing. Nothing did it. I'm sure you guys would agree with me that God did it is much more rational than nothing did it. But, you know, I wanted to do this video because the kids are being indoctrinated in the godless, liberal, secular school system to believe that the inanimate object, the gun, is an evil thing. And I'm here to tell you that if there were no Second Amendment, there would be no First Amendment. Have you guys ever gone to Mexico? Would you say the Mexican police are honest and straightforward? You know you're not allowed to have a gun in Mexico. Let's get on this here. And look how wonderful the Mexican government is. Why on earth did our founders, those brilliant men, why on earth would they say that the gun was literally linked to the existence of freedom? Men like Thomas Jefferson, who said that in actual letters they found of Thomas Jefferson, he talked about how shooting a firearm, shooting a gun, is better than sports, playing sports like with the ball or something like that. And he talked about how it doesn't imprint any stamp of intelligence on your mind, or it doesn't imprint when you're playing like sports with the ball or something like that. It doesn't imprint anything on your mind that benefits the mind like shooting a firearm does. Let's go this way here. Why did Patrick Henry talk about protecting freedom as if it's some sort of a jewel? He said, be very suspicious of people that approach that jewel. He said, unfortunately, nothing will stop it from being destroyed except downright force. And he said the great object is that every man should have a gun. Why on earth did our founders believe that the Second Amendment was inextricably bound to our freedoms as Americans? Look below this video. I'm going to put some actual writings from our founders of the United States of why they thought that if you give up the right to bear arms without any Second Amendment, you will have no First Amendment. So these poor kids with their brains loaded of liberalism and indoctrination that are out there marching against an inanimate object, the gun, they've got it all wrong. They are confused. So this is my rebuttal to their ridiculous march. Now, I do believe these children are sincere. They're being used by the secularist and the leftist, but you can be sincerely wrong. And for those of you high school students that are out there marching like Nazis, lockstep to what the leftists are telling you to do, you're like that song, you know, pull a little string and I'll dance for you, I'm your puppet. And the high school kids that are out there marching, you have become the puppet of the left. You have become the puppets of the left. They're just pulling your strings. The schools nowadays do not teach what American freedom is. They'll teach evolution, and this is another reason why you get these school shootings. We're going to talk about that, but just briefly, why are we surprised that there's school shootings when the teachers themselves, not all of them, but the secular government-run public indoctrination centers called public schools, the secular schools are teaching our kids, after all, there is no objective right and wrong. You can't pray in school. The Ten Commandments are not taught in school. What is taught is that you evolved from an animal. Even the secular atheist on YouTube will agree. They'll say there is no objective right and wrong. So when the school shooter goes out and he shoots someone, hey, survival of the fittest, man. This is what they're teaching in school. He's just one blob of cells destroying another blob of cells. Look at this beautiful scenery. Just beautiful. So when we teach children, by the way, that they're just animals, why are we surprised when they act like animals? There's a Bible passage that says we shall reap what we sow. You're teaching the kids, listen, secularist, you're teaching the children that they're nothing but blobs of cells, evolved animals. You have nut jobs on YouTube, like Aaron Raw, for example, and the Atheist Experience Show, that say that we're just evolved apes. That's all we are. And they believe that it's just monkey business when someone goes ahead and takes another life, a school shooter. After all morality, the atheists say, is subjective. Look below this video with some debates that I've had with sweet, cuddly, huggable, lovable atheists, where they'll say in debate that things are wrong just because they're wrong. They cannot root and ground morality in atheism. And this is why I really believe that atheism and leftism and secularism is responsible. They are responsible for these shootings. Did you see the school shooter, his picture of him flipping his middle finger off to the camera while he's holding his gun? Does that look like a nice little Jewish Christian boy? No! He's flipping off the camera while he's holding a gun. After all, he's been taught by the godless, liberal, indoctrinating, secularist, socialist, government-run school system, that he's just an evolved ape. So, when an evolved ape takes another life of another evolved ape, why, pray tell, is that wrong based on the... I believe it's wrong, objectively. And I'm going to tell you how I can root and ground my morality within Christianity. But why is it wrong if you're an atheist? After all, survival of the fittest, man. After all, we're just evolved animals, and there is no right and wrong. Why is it wrong? I will tell you why it's wrong. See, I used to be an atheist, but atheism is BOC, bunch of crap. Atheism is totally BOC, bunch of crap. You can't ground morality in atheism. Look at below this video for debates that I've done with sweet, cuddly, huggable, lovable atheists. Bless their sweet little primate hearts. And you'll see that when I question them, why is rape wrong? They can't say why rape is wrong. They're like, well, rape is wrong just because rape is wrong. So let's go through some things, guys. Why is homosexuality wrong? Because God is pure. Why is cheating on your spouse? Why is infidelity wrong? Because God is faithful. You see how you can ground objective morality
in Christianity. Remember how it says thou shalt not murder? See, you can ground it, but we're reaping what we sow. I love America, but let's talk about the hypocrisy of America. I love the people of America, my Christian friends and family, but when it comes to the government-run institutions like the public, godless, liberal, indoctrinating, socialist, secularist public school system, they're hypocritical. They've taken the Ten Commandments out of school. They've taken the Bible out of school. Unwed pregnancies are at an all-time high. Drug use is at an all-time high. And they're brainwashing the children to believe that an inanimate object is evil or sinful. I've heard more about the damn gun than I have about that nut job, the evil guy that killed people. They talk more about the inanimate object than the evil guy that killed people. Look at this white car in front of me. Imagine if that white car went out and killed someone. And imagine if all these cars out here were going out killing people. The logic of America is, well, we should ban all these cars. In fact, get this. The automobiles kill more people than guns do. So why, pray tell, as I tap my finger to this camera, why, pray tell, do the leftists and the secularists want to get rid of the gun? Because it is inextricably bound to your freedom. If there were no Second Amendment, there would be no First Amendment. I repeat, if there were no Second Amendment, there would be no First Amendment. There is a movement, it's probably just our New World Order getting closer. I believe that there will come a day, one day, where we're told to give up our arms in America. And I'm a Christian. I will never give up my rights, my Second Amendment right. That is tyranny. You know what George Washington did when he had problems with England? The tyrannical hand of England. You know what he did? You know what he did with the English troops? He didn't march and say, I'm going to walk out like a little child. I'm going to walk out of classroom and I'm going to march out and walk out. No! He used the Second Amendment. He shot the English troops. That's what he did. They need to teach that. They need to teach that in history. Let me give you some history. Look below this video and look at the actual quotes from our founders. They preached it, they taught it. If there were no Second Amendment, there will be no First Amendment. So America is kind of hypocritical. They take God out of schools. They teach people they're just evolved primates. There is no objective right and wrong. And then America has the gall to put in God we trust on the currency. How you doing, brother? Good. How you doing? That's nice. What is that? 600 or 9? Is that a 600? 900. I thought so. That's awesome. All right, I'll film you getting on it here. Oh, you're listening to music, aren't you? Yeah. I knew it. You probably got Highway to Hell, AC/DC. Play. Oh, you really do? I knew it. Good song. Yeah, that's good. All right, I'll follow you. Put you on camera. Where you go? Where we going? Just up here. Freeway. You probably got Highway to Hell, AC/DC. So, anyways, like I was saying, good colors. Look at that. Very nice. Oh, the last bit of freedom in America, motorcycle riding. I'm not going fast. There was a cop up here on the left earlier, right by these trees. Fortunately, he's not there. We're going to get on the freeway and I'm going to show you some stuff. But they teach people that they're evolved from apes. That's all they are, is evolved apes. Let's see if he's getting on the freeway. I'll stick with him this time because this area over here is a little safe. Ah, he's going left. See ya, bro! We're going to get on the freeway and end this video. That bike was awesome. Very smooth acceleration. We'll show you what we got here when we get on the freeway. And then they put "In God We Trust" on the coins? Come on. Why am I going to be afraid of an inanimate object? And you know what? Let's really talk about something that the NRA is scared to talk about. CNN is scared to talk about it. Fox News is scared to talk about it. The problem is a moral issue. It has nothing to do with the bullet. It has nothing to do with an inanimate object. These people that are marching, I'm sorry, I don't mean personal attack on these high school kids that are marching against an inanimate object, a gun, but that's just stupid. It's a moral issue. I've never seen a gun walk into a bank and shoot it up by itself. I've never seen someone use road rage with the remote control car and kill people. I've always seen a person behind it, but this is our stupid society. They don't want to take personal responsibility. But I will never, ever, 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 ever turn in any firearms. I will never, ever, ever, ever do that. And why should I? I am an American. So you guys that are over there marching, you need to know that you're being used and manipulated like little puppets on a string. Those of you that are marching, you need to, I know you're a victim of the godless, liberal, indoctrinating public socialist school system, so you probably haven't read the Constitution or the Declaration or the amendments. You probably haven't read any of that. You probably haven't read what the founders thought about the Second Amendment, about the importance of having a well-defended country. So for those of you guys that are out there marching, you've been brainwashed. Your theme song is "Pull a little string and I'll dance for you. I'm your puppet." Fortunately, after these high school students grow up and they get into the real world and they learn about the heavy-handed arm of the IRS, and they start seeing how much money the government's taking out of their paycheck, and they start seeing how more and more of their rights are taken away. Hopefully the high school students will grow up and realize that they were wrong. Pull a little string and I'll dance for you. I'm your puppet. Make me do right. Make me do wrong. I'm your puppet. Oh, you poor little used high school kids.